Okay, we're back here, part 2. We ordered up a new clutch. Primary clutch there for it. 2004 Polaris Sportsman 600 twin. We also ordered up some bolts, nuts and bolts for the battery because it was missing that, so we've been just holding it on pretty much. And just a reminder what happened. The primary clutch blew up inside there, and it does look like there's a little broken plastic on the backing right there, but it shouldn't be that much of an issue. I'll have to order up another one of them from somewhere and put that on at a later time. But so for now, we've managed to separate the secondary clutch a little bit to get the belt down in there. It is a new belt that the seller gave or sent with me. And so what we're going to do in a second here, let's get this set up, is we're going to put the primary on. So we're going to go ahead and do that. It's just pretty simple the way these things work. That's why they're still using them to date. So that just slides there. Now I'm going to get the big bolt. Once again, always finger start everything because you don't want to strip the threads inside there, and then you have to start all over, and even worse problems. Crank it on there good. Okay, and then you can turn it. There we go. Okay. Just get one more little torque there. And we'll start it up and see if it works, see if it spins. Make sure it spins freely. But we'll be right back. Just gonna put the bolts in the battery terminal. And we'll be right back. Start it up and test this out. Okay, got the battery terminal fixed up there. Everything's nice and tight, snug. We're gonna start her up and see how this goes. Make sure there's nothing wobbles, there's no bent shaft or anything like that. So always be ready to shut her down. Yeah, looks nice. It's good. Nothing wobbling. Nothing's going to be in the way when it starts engaging. And so as you engage, as you hit the throttle a little bit, you'll see how this works. Primary engages the belt with centrifugal force, and because it's in neutral, secondary spins along with it. Okay, so we're just going to be back here in a second, and we're going to put the plastics back together and maybe take her for a first drive. Let's see. Be right back. Okay, so we're going to start by just putting the clutch cover on here. Now we only got 2 bolts or 2 screws from the seller, so I did order up some more. They're just not here yet. We're just going to put one on either side here just to hold it on, and the rest we can put in once they show up. And oh, something needs to go there. That's where that goes. So that would be this rubber that I found randomly and wondered where it went. got some hose clamps for that. Keep the water out of there. Okay. 10 mil should be. There's a solenoid. Okay, I'm just going to get all the screws together to put the rest of the plastics together and see how this thing turns. Okay, let's get this thing back together. We do have some random pieces here and lines in there, so we believe the washer. This was missing originally. Okay, and seat. Okay. Just gonna start her up. I had only about 1,200. Okay. You're gonna see if she goes backwards. Back in neutral. Running nice. Clutch is engaging, so don't hear any slipping, any kind of knocking, nothing like that. So looks like we're fixed. I did pick up a seat cover. That's pretty much the only thing that's making this thing look not new. With 250 hours. I thought it was 500, but as you can see, 227 hours, 1,884 kilometers. So, just a walk around. She sounds great. Here's the rip, it's covered by tape. I'll do a video on resurfacing the seat. I see a lot of these Polaris Sportsman with the exact same rip, so it's definitely a common place for it to rip. From what I'm told, put plastic underneath the seat, so when the seat top moves, it doesn't put stress on here, so it doesn't rip as much. So I'll be doing that when I recover it later. Because when you put your weight down here, it's just ripping away from the top. Other than that, she sounds great. Purring away. All right, stay tuned for your first drive. Okay, so that's our first ride. It's little squeaks here and there. Gonna have to put some lube, check everything. It's sitting for years, so of course it's gonna have some surface rust. So we'll go over it with some WD-40 or actually what I found is this stuff is amazing. Ground rust protection and lubricant. Stays on there, stop it from rusting, but it also really creeps in there and it sticks, it stays, frees everything up. So again, we're gonna tackle this probably in a couple days. And other than that, she's looking pretty good. Good test drives. Got it up to 40 clicks in no time. Gotta be careful. And I live in the city, so people don't like ATVs on the road. All right, stay tuned for the seat repair, and I think it'll be ready to go. Stay tuned. Out for a walk with Maverick. 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 Come. Good boy. Find the bunny. Find the bunny. Where's the bunny? Find him. Being a good boy. What do you think of the quad, Maverick? Don't eat the phone. It's a good boy. Out of the way, Maverick. Stay with Daddy. You're loving the woods. Okay, we picked up a new seat cover off of Amazon for like 34 bucks. And it's the first time I've done one of these. Quality seems pretty good. It's not just really cheap thin stuff that looks like it's gonna rip. So we will, it's at least as durable as the stuff that's on there. So what we do, from all of the videos that I have watched, use a flathead and just stick it under the staples. Just go along, pull them all out. So you're not gonna, the goal is not to pull them out right now. And then after you go with a pair of needle nose and rip them out. So here we go. What? Did you say he made a fast one? Pulled a fast one on you?
Pulled a fast one, yeah.
Okay, next step is putting the new one on. Okay, here we go. We're gonna attempt this. And there's no instructions, of course, and it's got a double thickness on the end. And I'm guessing that's because you grab under here a lot, so we're going to put it at that end and not this end. And so we're going to flip it over. We're going to clip it back and do it again, because you're going to want to hold where you're going to staple first. Make sure it's centered. You only really got one shot at this. Hopefully this is big enough, because this will suck if it is not. Let me just see. I think this is exactly. Maybe that goes on the front. So then this protects that. You know what? I'm going to do that. So then this will protect this. Always only have 2 staples left when you're trying to do something. Luckily, I got more. Stretch the back here. Okay, let's go see how she looks on there. Okay, that's the final result. So this was ripped, so there is missing foam under here, so you can see a little indent, but other than that, tiny little looseness here that will probably clear up with time. This will go away, this line, as soon as it heats up in the sun. Other than that, turned out very well. When you start, it doesn't look like the piece of material is big enough, but you gotta stretch it. It's cut to fit. I'm sure you could just pick up a piece of material and cut it yourself, cheaper, but 34 bucks. And again, I think the extra material we put on this end, so the rubbing on the gas tank won't wear through, helps it out. Okay, and that's it. That is the end of the Polaris 600 Twin Sportsman. And you all know what to do. Like and subscribe. Keep the channel growing. Stay tuned, and I'll put the whole video up in 2 parts. Peace.